Hey everyone, it's Erin, and we are here on episode 5 of the Snoot Squad, and it is just me today talking to you a little bit about heartworms. And a lot of people that I run into at the shelter have questions about this, and since we have dealt with this firsthand when I first got Rory, I decided to make a quick podcast about this today. So we will get started in just a second. And we're back. So just to get started, basically Rory had heartworms. For those of you that don't know, I rescued her and we were at the vet and I was so excited because all the tests had come back perfect and it was just a good day. And then we were just waiting on the heartworm test. Well, I just continued to sit there longer and longer. I was probably sitting there for about 30 minutes and then I started realizing, oh, something is wrong here. And so finally the vet came back and told me that Rory had on like a scale of 1 to 3, like 1 being the least severe and 3 being the most severe, that she was like at the very beginning of the 3 stage. So she had pretty severe heartworms and it was not good. I started panicking because I didn't really understand what heartworms were at the time. And there are a lot of treatment options out there for those of you that don't know. But it was very difficult for me because the vet came into the room and started talking to me about it, and I just kind of shut down because I was like, oh no, this is bad. Like, this is something that can kill your dog, and I couldn't prevent it because she already had such a severe case. So to get into the nitty-gritty about what heartworms really are, heartworms develop from an infected mosquito bite, and it's not contagious between dogs. They have to be bitten by a mosquito, and the mosquito bite has to get infected, because then inside the heart tissue and inside all of the lungs and everything like that, heartworms begin to basically stick themselves into that tissue and start eating away at it. So the more strain that your dog puts on their heart, so, like a lot of dogs that have high energy and stuff like that, they're like constantly going and everything like that, the more strain they put on their heart, the more the heartworms lock on to that tissue and start eating away at it more. And so it was really sad, and basically we spent the first 6 months of our lives together not doing anything. She was basically on bed rest, but we basically, I would take her in and out to go to the bathroom, and that was about it. And it's a good thing that Rory doesn't have a lot of energy necessarily, like compared to some dogs who are like constantly going. Like if it was a border collie or something else, another breed, they probably would have not done as well as Rory did. But it does really make a difference in your dog. I think it's a very painful experience. We chose the fast kill because there's slow kill and fast kill. Slow kill is usually a pill, and it takes a little bit longer to get all of the heartworms treated and taken care of. And so if your dog doesn't have a severe case of heartworms, it's probably okay to do that, and it's way less expensive. But we did the fast kill, and I think it came out to about $1,000 and basically what we did was a 3-shot treatment plan. So every time she would go in, they would give her a steroid shot and then the heartworm shot, and then she would stay there for the day until we got to the last round of shots. And she actually had 2 of the heartworm shots and 2 steroid shots back to back. So she stayed overnight for the last one because they did a round of shots the day that she got there and then a round of shots the next morning. So I guess technically it's around 4 shots, but so yeah, we spent about $1,000 on her treatment, which is really, really expensive for somebody who wasn't thinking that heartworms was that severe. So I just want to let everybody know that it's a very common thing to see it in shelter dogs. A lot of dogs that have been neglected or been strays for a long time definitely have a higher risk of getting heartworm disease, and some of them are very bad, and you'll notice the symptoms of heartworms is some kind of like throaty cough whenever they start running and stuff like that. They basically just start coughing a lot, or they have a very sore throat. Rory was also really lethargic even before we took her into the vet. So it was just overwhelming. And it is overwhelming for somebody that's looking to get a new pet to have to turn around and say, I have to spend $1,000 more to get my dog treated. And I totally understand that, because as a college student, I had no idea what I was going to do. So I'm glad that we did it, because Rory has changed my life so much, and it's been amazing. But it definitely was a cost up front, and it was very stressful for us both. And she was definitely in a lot of pain. They do put the shots in at the hips, like right above the back hips, and so she was very sore for a couple of days after she got her shots, and she did not like going to the vet again after she got her first round. So I just thought I would kind of highlight what our experience was with heartworms. I get lots of questions all the time at the shelter about it. They are really, I would say like 75 to 80% of the dogs that I see at the shelter do have heartworms. And it has a lot to do with neglect, or if they've been found as strays. They have been outside for a while, and a lot of people don't really understand the consequences of heartworms, because it is severe. Your dog could die from it. The heartworms are eating away at the tissue around your dog's heart, so it makes it hard for them to breathe and to basically just live life like a dog. I mean, dogs are always running around, and they like to expend their energy, and it's just very, it's a really bad situation for both owner and pet. So I just wanted to share with everybody that I do keep Rory on a heartworm preventative. If you don't have your dog on a heartworm preventative, you definitely need to get them on one. There are pills that do heartworm, flea, and tick, but I actually got my heartworm pill. We give it separately from the flea and tick, and it was $45 or $50 for 6 months. So you're probably spending, depending on the weight, Rory's about 50 pounds, so that's pretty accurate. And so I got that at a low cost vaccination event, and I'm sure there are tons of places near you that have access to that. If you haven't gotten your dog vaccinated, you definitely need to do that. There's a lot of stuff going around recently, and upper respiratory infections are very, very contagious, and so it's very important that you keep your dog vaccinated too. But that's kind of off topic. They also do have a heartworm preventative shot, and I think you give it to them every 3 months, every 6 months. I'm not quite sure. We did that a couple of times, but I just decided that it was cheaper to go with the pill. And the pill works just as well. You just have to remember to give it to your dog. So that's really the hardest part, is trying to remember. But I just put it all on my phone. So I'll kind of link below what heartworm pills that I'm using, and also what flea pills I'm using too, to keep Rory up to date on her stuff and vaccinations. We actually vaccinated Rory by ourselves for the first time, and your vet will probably not suggest this, but we would have spent only $20 that we accidentally squirted out the shot the first time around. So we spent about $30 on getting the vaccinations that Rory needed, instead of what my vet quoted me was going to be $300. So, and it's all the same stuff, and you can get it from Tractor Supply, and I'll be doing a podcast video about Tractor Supply soon. I really love that store. I know it's kind of lame, but they have a lot of good like dog health products and toys and stuff that are very, very cheap. And we go there all the time for Rory's chews, and it's awesome. But that's off topic, and I just wanted to share with you guys our experience with heartworms. It was really bad. It was very stressed out. Rory was so tired, and she really hated the treatment, and I did too, because I wanted to go on adventures with my dog, and we literally had to wait almost a year. She was on bed rest for like 6 months, and then we finally got her tested again, because I rescued her in September, took her to the vet about a week later, found out she had heartworms. She had her first shot the 1st of October, and then we finished up her treatment around March, and then we had to wait until June to get her tested again to make sure she was free of heartworms. So it's a really long process. It's definitely not worth it. If your dog is not on a heartworm preventative, I am begging you, please get them on one. I know some places don't really have bugs or mosquitoes and stuff, but it really is not worth the risk for an extra $100 a year, maybe, probably less, depending on how much your dog weighs. And so It's really, really important that you stick with your flea, tick, and heartworm preventative, and I feel like I am a vet spokeswoman, but it is so true, and it has really affected our lives, so I don't want it to affect yours if I can prevent it. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to this quick podcast today. Next week, we will have another podcast about pit bull awareness, since it is National Pit Bull Awareness Month, and we have one of my friends, Megan Carlisle. She is volunteering for a pit bull rescue organization here in the DFW area called the Love Pit, and she has been fostering pit bulls and successfully adopting them out. She's been doing some awesome work with them, and I'm so excited to talk to her about pit bulls, and I also have a big heart for pit bulls, so it's going to be a really fun experience. So I hope to see you here on Tuesday. So thank you for watching, and thank you for listening if you're just listening. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to listen to me talk. If you have any questions about heartworms or flea and tick medicine or anything, feel free to ask me. I have contacts in the shelter and at the vet that I can always ask questions to, and I would love to do so if it would make you feel better. So if you have any comments, questions, suggestions for our next podcast, or you want to be featured, we would love to have you. So just go ahead and you can email us at thedwdog@gmail.com. Again, that's thedwdog@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook at the DW Dog, or on Instagram at _downward dog. And I'm so excited for next week, and I will see you then.